Hello everyone, welcome back again. It's 10th of March, 12:31. You might be noticing that I keep not uploading. I keep recording these videos very late at night. Even I don't know what I am doing or why I'm doing this. Like I know why I'm doing this, but what's the reason behind me recording it so late at night? Even though I have college regularly and I am lacking sleep since 4 days. I think first of all I want to prove it to myself that I can keep doing this even if it's hard. And the other reason is this might be the bigger reason that I live with my family and I don't feel like making videos in front of them. I feel like at night I can be more open with you guys or more transparent. So that's why I chose to record at night, even though I am a college going student and I am lacking sleep since 4 days. But it's okay, it's my choice. Nobody forced me to do this. And I hope I get better outcomes from this. So we'll treat 20 minutes for today, and I think I'll upload it in the evening because I have college tomorrow and I am lacking sleep. I'm going to sleep after recording this. I might upload it in my laptop, but I'll not upload it on YouTube. I'll upload it in the evening. So let me set up the timer. Yeah. We read up to page number 34. Half page we read. We have to start from the rest half. Rest half? Oh yeah, rest half. It's 21 minutes. Your behavior are usually a reflection of your identity. What you do is an indication of the type of person you believe that you are, either consciously or non-consciously. Researcher has shown that once a person believes in a particular aspects of their identity, they are more likely to attract an alignment with that belief. For example, people who identify as being a voter were more likely to vote than who simply claimed voting was an action they wanted to perform. Yeah. I'm getting distracted. Voting was an action they wanted to perform. Similarly, the person who incorporates exercise into their identity doesn't have to convince themselves to train. Doing the right thing is easy after all. What you believe and your identity are fully aligned. You are no longer pursuing behavior change. You are simply acting like the person you already believe yourself to be. Like all aspects of habit formation, this too is a double-edged sword. When working for you, identity identity change. Okay, let me get the thumbnail. This is the book I'm reading today, Atomic Habits by James Clear. You're no longer pursuing behavior change. You're simply acting type of like the type of person you already believe yourself to be. When working for you, identity change can be a powerful force for self-improvement. When working against you, though identity change can be a curse. Once you have adopted an identity, it can be easy to let your to it impact impact your ability to change. It can be easy to let your allegiance allegiance to it let your allegiance to it impact your ability to change. Many people walk through life in a cognitive slumber, blindly following the norms attached to their identity. I'm terrible. I'm terrible with I'm terrible with decisions. I'm not a morning person. I'm bad at remembering people names. I'm always late. I'm not good with technology. I'm horrible at maths. And thousands other variations. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I killed that mosquito. But that's true. I also feel like I cage myself in a box in many ways. Like I believe that I'm not a creative person and I'm more of a logical person. I believe so. And that's why I think I cannot draw. I'm not a good artist. Just in sense of drawing. I was good at singing when I was little, but I left practicing and then I just forgot it. Yeah. Similarly, I also believe that it's not good for me. Like it doesn't affect me as much, but still it doesn't affect me as much, but still it's not good to cage myself, right? Yeah, so that's a good point you pointed out. And a thousand other variations. When you have repeated a story to yourself for years, it is easy to slide into these mental grooves and accept them as a fact. In time, you will begin to resist certain actions because, yeah, and that's also the reason why I'm not. Uh, this caging is the reason I think I'm not getting better at sports like football, which I really like to play. But for some reason, I don't think I'm improving right now. Right now, I'm injured, but even though when I'm playing, I feel like I'm not improving myself. How much I try, however much I try, my stamina increases, but my skills are not improving. Like first touch and passing, dribbling is like pathetic. I often step on the ball while dribbling, and that's the reason why I got this injury in the first place. More on that later. Let's continue reading. You find whatever way you can to avoid contradicting yourself. Sorry. In time, you begin to resist certain actions because that's not who I am. There is internal pressure to maintain your self image and behave in a way that is inconsistent with your beliefs. that is inconsistent with your beliefs. That is consistent with your beliefs. You find way you can to avoid contradicting yourself. The more deeply a thought or action is tied to your identity, the more difficult it is to change it. It can feel it can feel comfortable to believe what your culture believes, group identity, or to do what upholds your self-image, personal identity, even if it's wrong. The biggest barrier to positive change at any level, individual, team, society, is identity conflict. Good habits can make rational sense, but if they conflict with your identity, you will fail to put them into action. You fail to put them into action. On any given day, you may struggle with your habits because you are too busy or too tired or too overwhelmed or hundreds of other reasons over the long run. However, the reason you fail to stick with habits is that your self-image gets in the way. This is why you can't get attached to one version of your identity. Progress requires unlearning. Becomes Becoming the best version of yourself requires you to continuously edit your beliefs and upgrade and expand your identity. This brings us to an important question. If your beliefs and worldview play such an important role in your behavior, where do they come from in the first place? How exactly is your identity formed? And how can you emphasize new aspects of your identity that serve you and gradually erase the pieces that hinder you? The two-step process to change your identity. Your identity emerges out of your habits. You are not born with a preset beliefs. Every belief, including those about yourself, is learned and conditioned through experience. More precisely, your habits are how you embody your identity. Your habits are how you embody your identity. So habits are outcome of our identity, how we think of ourselves. Yeah, we read this yesterday, right? Hmm. When you make your bed each day, you embody the identity or of an organized person. When you write each day, you embody the identity of a creative person. When you train each day, you embody the identity of an athletic person. The more you repeat a behavior, the more you reinforce the identity associated with that behavior. In fact, the word the word identity was originally derived from the Latin word essentias, essentitas, essentitas, which means being, and identity, identidum, which means repeatedly, which means being, and identidum, which means repeatedly. Your identity is literally your repeated beingness. Your identity is literally your repeated beingness. Whatever your identity is right now, you only believe it because you have proof of it. If you go to church every Sunday for 20 years, you have evidence that you are religious. If you study biology for 1 hour every night, you have evidence that you are studious. If you go to the gym even when it's snowing, you have evidence that you are committed to fitness. The more evidence you have for a belief, the more strongly you will believe it. For most of my life, I didn't consider myself as a writer. If you were to ask any of my high school teacher or college professors, they would tell you I was an average writer at best, certainly not a standout. When I began my writing career, I published a new article every Monday and Thursday for the first few years. As the evidence grew, so did my identity as a writer. I didn't start out as a writer, I became one through my habits. Of course, your habits are not the only action that influence your identity, but by virtue of the frequency, but by virtue of their frequency, they are usually the most important ones. Virtue of their frequency. What does virtue mean? I know what it basically means, but I don't know what it actually means. behavior which shows high moral standards. Virtue of their frequency. They are usually the most important ones. Each experience in life modifies your self image, but it's unlikely you would consider yourself as a soccer player because you kicked the ball once. Because it's unlikely you would consider yourself a soccer player because you kicked a ball once, or an artist because you scribbled a picture. Hmm. Both of the examples are true in my case. I don't practice that much. Yeah, that's why I think I don't believe that I'm a good player. When I practice too much, then I don't think this problem will persist. And I haven't even tried drawing. I just tried it once and left it because I didn't draw it good. Because I wasn't good at it. Yeah, it's a good thing I read today. As you repeated these actions, however the however the evidence accumulates and your self-image begins to change. The effect of one-off experiences tend to fade away, while the effect of habits get reinforced with time, which means your habits contribute most of the evidence that shape your identity. In this way, the process of building habits is actually the process of becoming yourselves. This is a gradual evolution. We don't change by snapping our fingers, it might be fingers and deciding to become someone entirely new. We change bit by bit, day by day, habit by habit. We are continually undergoing micro evolutions of the self. Each habit is like a suggestion. Hey, maybe this is who I am. If you finish a book, then perhaps you are the type of person who likes reading. If you go to the gym, then perhaps you are the type of person who likes exercise. If you practice playing the guitar, perhaps you are the type of person who likes music. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. Every action you take is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. No single instance will transform your beliefs, but as voters build up, so does the evidence of your new identity. This is one reason why meaningful change does not require radical change. Meaningful change does not require radical change. Small habits can make a meaningful difference by providing evidence of a new identity. And if a change is meaningful, it's it actually is big. That's the paradox of making small improvements. Putting all this Putting this all together, you can see that habits are the path to changing your identity. The most practical way to change who you are is to change what you do. Each time you write a page, you are a writer. Each time you practice the violin, you are a musician. Each time you start a workout, you are an athlete. Each time you encourage your employees, you are a leader. Each habit each habit not only gets results but also teaches you something far more important: to trust yourself, to start to believe you can actually accomplish these things. You can actually accomplish these things. When the votes mount up and the evidence begins to change, the story you tell yourself begins to change as well. Of course, it works the opposite way too. Every time you choose to perform a bad habit, it's a vote for that identity. The good news is that you don't need to be perfect. In any election, there are going to be votes for both sides. You don't need to be unanimous, unanimous, unanimous. You don't need an you don't need an unanimous vote to win an election. You just need a majority. It doesn't matter if you cast a few votes for bad behavior or an unproductive habit. Your goal is simply to win the majority of time. New identities require new evidence. If you keep casting the same votes you have always cast, you are going to get the same results you have always had. If nothing changes, nothing is going to change. It's a simple two-step process. Decide the type of person you want to be. Prove it to yourself with small wins. First, decide who you want to be. This holds at any level. Yeah, so it's going the other way around. First, he told us to change our identity. Now he's telling us to first choose a goal. Like, who do you want to be? Right. First step is decide the type of person you want to be. So, what's going on? First, he's told us to build an identity. What's going on? Let me read it further. This holds at any level. As an individual, as a team, as a community, as a nation. What do you want to stand for? What are your principles and values? What do you wish to become? These are big questions and many people aren't sure where to begin. But they do know what kind of results they want. To get six-pack abs, or to feel less anxious, or to double their salary. That's fine. Stand there and work backwards from the results you want, the type of person who could get those results. Backward from the results you want, you want to the type of person you who could get those results. Ask yourself, who is the type of person that could get the outcome I want? Who is the type of person that could lose 50 pounds, 40 pounds? Who is the type of person that could learn a new language? Who is the type of person that could run a successful startup? For example, who is the type of person who could write a book? It's probably something who is consistent and reliable. Now, your focus shifts from writing a book, outcome based, to being the type of person who is consistent and reliable, identity based. This process can lead to beliefs like, I'm the kind of teacher who stands up for her students. I'm the kind of doctor who gives each patient their time and empathy they need. I'm the kind of manager who advocates for her employees. Once you have a handle on the type of person you want to be, you can begin taking small steps to reinforce your desired identity. I have a friend who lost over 100 pounds by asking herself, what would a healthy person do? All day long she would use this question as a guide. Would a healthy person walk or take a cab? Would a healthy person order a burrito or a salad? She figured if she acted like a healthy person long enough, eventually she'll become that person. She was right. The concept of identity based habit is our introduction to another key theme of this book, feedback loops. The habits shape your identity. Your habits shape your identity, and your identity shape your habits. It's a first it's a two-way street. The formation of all habits is a feedback loop, a concept we will explore in depth in the next chapter, but it's important to let your values, principles, and identity drive the loop rather than your results. It's important to let your values, principles, and identity drive the loop rather than your results. The focus should always be on becoming that type of person, not getting a particular outcome. The real reasons habit matter. Identity change in the North Star of habit change. Identity change is the North Star of habit change. The remainder of this book will provide you with step-by-step instruction on how to build better habits in yourself, your family, your team, your company, and everywhere else you wish. But the true question is, um, this chapter is only dismissed. I'm here. It's only dismissed, but should I read it? I am going to read it anyways because I'm starting to like this book and I want to complete this as soon as possible so I can move on to another book. But the true question is, are you becoming the type of person you want to become? The first step is not what or how you or how, but who. You need to know who you want to be. Otherwise, Your quest for change is like boat without a rudder. And that's why we are standing here. We are starting here. You have the power to change your beliefs about yourself. Your identity is not set in stone. You have a choice in every moment. You can choose the identity you want to reinforce today with the habits you choose today. And this brings us to the deeper purpose of this book and the real reason behind and the real reason habits matter. Building better habits isn't about glittering your day with life hacks. It's about flossing one tooth each night, or taking a cold shower each morning, or wearing the same outfit each day. It's not about flossing one tooth each night, or taking a cold shower each morning, or wearing the same outfit each day. It's not about achieving external measures of success like earning more money, losing weight, or reducing stress. It's not about achieving external measures of success. Okay. Habits can help you achieve all of these things, but fundamentally, they are not about having something. They are about becoming someone. Oh. So, the purpose of habits is not to reach an outcome, it's to become a different person. Yeah, you can reach an outcome by different measures too. Like just working on the outcome will get you to the outcome, but you will not change as a human being. So if you have to change as a human being while reaching your outputs, you have to change your habits. That's a good line. You have to change your habits. It may take a while, even longer than the outcome based working, but it lasts longer. Ultimately, your habits matter because they help you become the type of person you wish to be. They are the channel through which you'll develop your deepest beliefs about yourself. Quite literally, you become your habits. Chapter summary. There are three levels of change: outcome change, process change, and identity change. The most effective way to change your habits is focus not on what you want to achieve, but on who you wish to become. Your identity emerges out of your habits. The most effective way to change your habit is to focus on what you want to achieve. The most effective way to change your habits is to focus on is to not is to focus not on what you want to achieve, but on who you wish to become. Your identity emerges out of your habits. Every action is a vote for the type of person you wish to become. Becoming the best version of yourself requires to continuously edit your beliefs and to upgrade and expand your identity. The real reason habit matter is not because they can get you better results, although they can do that, but because they can change your beliefs about yourself, and they can literally change you. I hope today's read was self-explanatory, and where I thought it wasn't, I was keep on repeating myself. I was repeating myself. I was explaining it. I was discussing it. If you have any doubts about today's read, please comment down. I'll answer very happily because I'm a very free person and I don't have anything to do right now. The only thing in my mind right now is improving my speaking skills, and I think I'll achieve it very soon. Until then, goodbye, good night.